Hello guys, so today we are going to talk about how to install a dash cam on the GLA class of the Mercedes-Benz family of small cars. So you can see I got a dash cam installed there, and we're going to show you how to install the dash cam and get the wiring around neatly so you can't see the wires. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly go through the tools that we're going to need. So just some basic tools that we have. Now we got a sharp nose plier, a small wrench, a flathead screwdriver, a fuse checker to check the power. So you can get these things off eBay for a couple bucks. So that, and then you got a fuse puller. So if you don't have one of these fuse pullers, you may need to get a tweezer, or you can use the sharp nose pliers to yank it out, but just need to be careful when you pull it out. So first things first, you want to connect the fuse up. So with the GLA class, your fuse is under here in the footwell. So first thing we do is remove the floor mat, and then see up here you have to pull this down. Okay, so you just grab onto the side here and you just pull. Okay, so you can see here I have a T-power box. You don't have to use one of these, you can use something else, but I just installed this so that it's able to charge the battery up and it won't drain the primary battery as much. So what we're going to do now, so initially we open up the fuse box in here. Okay, so you remove that. You can see where I've connected the fuse. So okay, let me just grab the fuse checker. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this in all the one video. So what you want to do with this end of the fuse checker is you connect it onto the grounding, which is down there. So let's do that. Right, the grounding's done, and then you grab this pen and you can check the fuse. So let's have a look at this one. So you can see this one, the light is on. So this is the battery, which is the power that's always on. And then I go over here, that's my other one. If you connect it, you can see that there's no power. There's no power there at all. Okay, so, but when you turn on the accessory, that light will turn on. So you have to play around. That one's on, and then this one's off, and this one's off. So you can use any of these two. And then with these cables, with the accessory cable, that will then plug into a basically the Power Magic Pro or another variant of it, which I use the T-Power Plus with the extra battery backup. Now what you have to do then is you use the wrench and you unscrew this thing, and you attach the grounding cable to here, and then you have the battery plus to here, and then you try to route the cable down here so it doesn't get caught by this box. So you can see here, I'm just going to put the box back. I'll see how I go do it with one hand, otherwise I might pause it. But you can see down here I have the rest of the excess cable. I just shove it down the bottom here, and that's where the cigarette lighter connects to. Okay, so just do that. I'm just going to quickly pause this video so I can put this thing back. Okay, so now we've got the fuse box back on. It took me a little while because in the dark it's quite hard to see. So you can see that this is just attached with a piece of Velcro. And then when you just hide the cables underneath there. You don't have to worry about too many cables being loose down the bottom here, because really it's all going to be covered by this. If you want to be super neat, you can use cable ties and tie everything together, but to me it doesn't make any big difference. Now when you have something like this here, it will create a slight bulge in your footwell, but it's nothing to really worry about. So I just want to make sure that nothing's too far underneath here, and then you can push this back down. Sorry, you can see me. Okay, so you can just push everything back down. You can't see in this low light, but there's a tiny little bulge here, but there's nothing you need to worry about. So I'll connect the fuse, and then you can see there's the cable running up here through the door jamb coming back up here. Now I don't recommend plugging the actual cable into the cigarette lighter just yet. So what you want to do is you want to position the camera up. This is a GLA. It's fully optioned, so you got a bigger box here, which is a bit annoying, but you can just fit it behind the rear rear mirror there. And then because the model that I have is the Blackvue DR650, it's front and rear, and I just routed the cable, one cable to the left side, one cable to the right side, because the headliner doesn't have a huge amount of room to store the cables in. So you can see this is the power cable. This is the power cable here. It goes all the way up to the windscreen, and then this is the ugly bit because I can't fit into the roof liner here, but it's not the biggest deal. So the cable comes around here, and it tucks up all the way up here. You can use a credit card or a plastic card that you don't use and shove it up here. When it gets to the A-pillar, you have to actually just yank the A-pillar back a little bit. So to do that, you grab the screwdriver. So grab the screwdriver. Alright, you see this airbag? Just put it underneath and just yank it off like that. So once that's off, you look inside there, there's a clip. Okay, so there's a bottom and a top clip. I would normally use 2 flathead screwdrivers and shove it underneath the bottom and the top, and then you yank it off, and then this comes a little bit loose and you try to hide the cable underneath there. So that's the airbag sign. We'll put it back in. It's back in. And then once you have the cable down here, you can actually then hide all the cable underneath this rubber lining here. So all the rubber lining just go all the way down. Sorry, all the way down here. And then you can see there's a little seam. Again, you can shove all the cable through here, and that's where it comes out down the bottom here. This part you can't quite fit in because the 2 pieces of plastic here is too close together. So you just leave that and just run it all the way down, and then you connect that power into that cigarette lighter attachment. Okay, now the interesting bit is actually fitting the rear camera cable. Okay, so now I'll come out. I need to go to the other side to show you. So we come in here. Alright, so that's the other side. Okay, so you can see here there's a secondary cable, and the secondary cable comes up here, and then the camera's not focusing, and then it again goes up the headliner all the way to the A-pillar, and once again you need to remove that airbag sign and loosen up the A-pillar so you can shove the cable behind. Once that's done, all the cable again goes underneath this rubber. You can probably just make out the cable hidden underneath there, but what you want to do then is you run this cable all the way underneath here, and then underneath here there's a gap, so you have to put the cable all the way through that gap here. So I need to go to the back seat. Okay, so again, so now you got the cable coming from the back, and then you put it underneath the rubber here, all the way underneath the rubber, and you're coming down. Now this rear bit is where it gets a bit tricky. So you can see here, that's where a bit of my cable is coming out, because to get that all the way to the back is actually pretty hard. Now what you want to do is you want to open the boot. Okay, so you want to install the rear camera first, and then you can see where the cable comes down. Okay, it's not the tidiest, but the cable comes down like that. You have to leave a bit of dangling space, because every time the rear door opens and closes, this will dangle a little bit. Now you need to remove this bit here. Sorry about the low light, but you need to remove that. Both sides, take it off, and then you take this piece of board out. Just give me a sec. You just need to use both. Alright, now I've grabbed the torch so I can show you guys a bit better. So there's the camera, and then you got the cable coming down here, and you can see how the cable is turning to the left, but the cable is actually coming from the right. Because the cable is actually quite long, you have to actually hide the excess cable underneath this rubber liner. So, and you can actually flip this rubber liner up, so you can see here that actually comes up. Okay, so you can hide the cable up here. So all I did was I routed excess cable underneath down here, and then just did a kink, come back up, and then go back up there. So to travel, get the cable from within here, you have to get that chair down. So we'll do that first. Okay, now the chair's down. You can see where I put the cables. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the cables down through here, and I've found this piece of plastic next to the seat belts, and you can tuck the cables underneath there. So we'll come around again. So you can see there's the cable coming through here. So the cable is essentially coming through all the way underneath here. So it's coming all the way underneath there, and then you see this bit. Yeah, this bit here where I'm shining the actual light on, you can see there's a little bit of a kink. So just down here, and that's essentially where the cables come up. So then the cable travels up this rubber lining, keeps going. Don't stop there yet because the cable's too long. Keep going down here, do a loop, come back up, and then finally comes to the rear camera. Now what I've done here is just 2 pieces of blue tack or some other, I guess you can use some other sticky tape if it will stick to that plastic. This plastic is quite porous, so I can't seem to find anything that will stick quite well to it. I've tried electrical tape and it's not working, so blue tack seems to be a pretty good solution, and since you don't have that many people looking at things behind here, it doesn't really matter. So anyway, there you have it. There's your installation of the cameras. If you only have a front camera, then you just do the front half of the video, and you just pretty much get the fuse box, get the line, travel all the way up to the front here and to the camera. but if you're doing a front and rear like I am doing, you're going to have to get the cable all the way to the back. Anyway guys, hope this video has helped you, so I'll see you next time.